All right, the quote that we're going to use to start out the travel portion of our lesson this week is: We travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. Quote by someone unknown. So, what does that mean? One of the reasons that we're choosing to do travel this week is we've done all of this work on our core values. And now it's about how do we take all of this work that we've done and implement it into our lives. So, the lives that we have right now hopefully are beautiful already. But when we push ourselves out of what is comfortable for us, that's when we really grow. Now, most of you right now will not have the opportunity to travel anywhere that you want, but I hope that you've been watching the field trips. Miss Brassard's field trip that she took us on this week is beautiful. Please go watch it. We go to Paris with her, and it's so fantastic, and it definitely is inspiring me to go. If you haven't already seen the field trip that I did the week before, that was in several places around the world. And one of the things that I brought up in that field trip was the quote: fear has two meanings, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And it was again this idea of pushing ourselves out of what's comfortable so that we can grow, so that we can rise, so that we can expand. So, this quote about not letting life escape us. There's so much out in the world to see, to know, to understand, to learn. And what it really helps us to do when we do go and explore is learn more about ourselves. And that's the beauty truly of travel. I don't think I've ever learned, let me think about that. Well, it's definitely in the top couple. Ways that I've learned about myself is through travel, especially when I've had those opportunities to travel independently. But actually, even when I've traveled with other people, I learn a lot about myself and my tolerances and how I communicate and interact with others. So travel is this beautiful thing that I hope you all get the opportunity to have if you want it. And like Ms. Broussard said in her field trip, I know you're going to be successful. I know that you're going to have all the things that you want in your life if you just push yourself to achieve what it is that you're looking for, which is what we've been doing the last few weeks in this class, is trying to figure out what are you looking for. This week we talked about core desired feelings, and maybe those are in line with your core desired values. Mine was expression, which to me is in line with my core desired, my core values of health and truth, especially truth, because when I'm being true, I'm also expressing. So, what you're going to do this week, if you go onto Canvas, you'll see that there is a template. And the template that's there is for you to build a informational piece about a place you would like to go. So the example that I'm using is Mexico City. I have just this deep desire to go to Mexico City. My friend Anya went several years ago, and when I looked at her pictures and saw how beautiful it was and all the art, especially there, I knew that that was a place I wanted to go to. Also, I'm very intrigued by Mexican culture. I love that I get to teach so many of you beautiful people who have Mexican heritage. Um, there's just something really beautiful, familial, expressive, passionate, wonderful about that culture. And so I like to learn as much about it as I can. I truly love to learn about all cultures. If I could spend the rest of my life as a student just learning about culture, I would be a happy person. So when I go down on my virtual trip now to Mexico City, what I did is I got into Google and I Googled interesting things about Mexico City, interesting places about Mexico City, um, what to explore when in Mexico City. And I pulled up a whole bunch of different websites that took me there so I could feel like I was there. I looked at a bunch of pictures. I read some informational pages about Mexico City, and I learned a lot as I prepared my slideshow. Now, the slideshow that you all have is super blank and super bland. So I really encourage you to design it the way that you want it to look. I made mine bright blue and changed the lettering. And if you don't know how to do that, now is a really great time to Google how to make my Google slideshow better and challenge yourself to learn how to make something visually what you want it to be. Please include pictures in your slideshow. Nobody wants to look at a slideshow that's just full of words, and be conscientious of your use of words. Conscientious means be very thoughtful of your use of words. You'll notice that with the exception of my core values and core desired feelings slides, pretty much everything is brief. Um, just little bullet points of what it is that I'm talking about for those places and then including pictures. This is really for me to see that you did a little bit of research and that you are making something that's visually representative of the place that you are going to go. Now, you can go anywhere in the world. So really like challenge yourself to find places. If you're just not sure where you want to go, the very first thing I would Google is places to visit in the world or top maybe 100 places people go. My second, third, fourth options were places like Thailand. I really want to go to Thailand mostly because I love Thai food, but I also really love the temples that are there are so beautiful. I would love to go to Italy. I've never been, and I know I want to see all the art there. So I would really love to go to Italy. Um, where else? Costa Rica. Recently, I've decided I'd really want to go there. Cuba. There are so many different places that I want to see. So just start exploring what is even out there in the world and then make your decision based on what you see. You may be making your decision based just on pictures. And you know what? That's totally fine. Anywhere that you go, you're going to learn something about that place and about yourself. Can't wait to see where you decided to take us this week.